Our 10th anniversary. She told me to dress nice, said she had a surprise planned. She wasn't wrong. I arrived at the restaurant 5 minutes early. She showed up 20 late, wearing red, her war color. I knew that dress. She only wore it when she wanted control. She kissed my cheek like I was a distant relative. Then she pulled out the seat beside her for him. "This is Daniel," she said, "my new partner." I looked at him, clean-shaven, weak chin, eyes that flickered like he knew he'd made a mistake just being there. I smiled. Charming. Then I paid for my steak, hers too, stood up, buttoned my blazer, and walked out. I filed for divorce the next morning. She was calling me by afternoon, frankly, desperately. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. Her number was already blocked. 10 years. 10 careful, devoted, trusting years. We met in med school. She was brilliant, ruthless even then. I admired it. I was the calm to her fire. She liked that. We built a life with surgical precision. A townhouse, a joint practice, matching schedules, no kids, by choice. Everything was structured. Everything was ours. Until, apparently, it wasn't. There were signs, in retrospect. Weekend conferences with no notes to show for, sudden silences when I entered the room, a new passcode on her phone. She said I was paranoid. I wasn't paranoid. I was just a little too late. The night after that dinner, I didn't sleep. Not because I missed her. I mourned the version of her I loved, the one that never existed. By sunrise, I wasn't grieving anymore. I was calculating. Step 1. Evidence. I didn't want revenge without leverage. That's messy, weak. So I hired someone, a quiet man with a sharper lens than conscience. Within 2 weeks, I had everything: photos, texts, timestamps. Daniel wasn't just a fling. He was an employee at her firm. Subordinate, improper, dangerous. Step 2. Money. I pulled half from our joint account before she realized I was serious, closed my access to her business, set up a forensic accountant to find anything she'd hidden. Step 3. Silence. That was the most important part. I said nothing, not a word. Let her think I was broken, humiliated. Men like Daniel don't worry about quiet men like me. But the thing about silence is, it's not surrender, it's strategy. 3 weeks later, I served her with divorce papers at her office. She opened the envelope mid-meeting. I stood in the doorway and watched her face fall. No warning, no goodbye, just legal firepower and finality. She followed me out, hissing my name like a curse. I didn't stop walking. She shouted, "You're being childish." I turned. "You're screwing someone who calls you boss. That's not exactly mature." Gasps around us. Good. Let the court of public opinion warm up. I didn't want her back. I wanted her exposed. She tried to play civil. Then she tried to play cruel. Neither worked. Because I wasn't reacting. I was controlling. I leaked the photos to the board of her clinic anonymously. Conflict of interest, inappropriate relationship with a junior employee. Her license wasn't revoked, but she was suspended. Publicly. Daniel got fired. 2 weeks later, he deleted his socials. A man without a plan or a paycheck. Her attorney called mine, begging for mediation. I refused. We went to court. She thought she was entitled to half, but I had the records, the timestamps, the dates that proved she started the affair while we were still married and still sharing everything. Adultery has consequences, especially when it's documented. The judge didn't sympathize. Why would he? She'd walked me into a public betrayal and expected applause. She lost the townhouse. I sold it. She wanted to keep the practice. I took her name off the branding, made sure every vendor knew the scandal, and let her bleed clients until she sold her share at a loss. Now she lives in a condo she doesn't own, working locum shifts, without Daniel, without dignity. I saw her once, at a grocery store 2 months post-verdict. She looked older, tired. Her cart had microwave meals and discount wine. She saw me, opened her mouth. I shook my head, just once, and walked past. There's no need for words when justice has already spoken. She used to say I was too calm, that I never exploded. She mistook silence for softness. But a storm doesn't announce itself with thunder. It begins in stillness. Then it destroys. She betrayed me at dinner, served me humiliation with a side of arrogance. So I served her consequences. Cold, calculated, complete. No yelling, no threats, just truth, exposure, and a quiet exit. Now, every time her phone buzzes and it's not me, every time she opens her door and no one's there, that's her surprise. And me? I sleep just fine, because I don't need her apology. I already got my justice. And I paid for dinner.